Hi there, my name's Simon from CramTheExam and welcome to another video where I walk you through another English exam question. In this video we're going to have a look at a CAE Advanced Listening Part 1 question, a multiple choice question. You get to hear 3 extracts and you have 2 multiple choice questions for each extract. This exercise you'll find on the excellent engexam.info website, which is full of great resources to help you get ready for your CAE English exam. A few words, and of course you'll find links to this exercise and to the engexam.info website in the video description below this video. A few words about the Part 1 listening paper. Of course, it's fairly tough at this level, but what you're doing is you're looking for vocabulary links that connect the answer, to what's said in the listening, to the answer. There's always going to be some kind of vocabulary link, synonym of some kind, some words around that topic that connect the answer to the listening. It's not just a stab in the dark. So it's a real test of your listening skills to understand the context of what's going on and then to understand the rather complex vocabulary which is used and apply it to one of the questions. So let's have a look at the answers and find out why the answers are the answers. Now, one of the good things about engexam.info is that if you have a look at the scripts, as you can see, the area of the listening which contains the answer is already highlighted, as you can see here. So it makes our job a little bit easier, and it makes the website great for self-study in general. You don't need me explaining why the answer is the answer. But let's go through it in any case. John thinks Diane's indecision about the holiday is. So indecision is the inability to decide. And we see this in this first opening part of what Diane says. I don't know. I still haven't come to any definite decision. And she also says, it's worth pointing out, it's not long since I last had a break. So it's not B. If your holiday is overdue, it means that you haven't had a holiday for a long time. Here, she just said that she's just had a holiday. So John then says, oh, come on, what's the problem? It may seem extravagant, but you told me you'd just been given promotion and a rise, so that can't be an issue, surely. So a rise, in other words, an increase in pay for the job that you're doing. And he says that can't be an issue, surely. So what he's saying is rather A, that this is unreasonable. Her indecision is unreasonable in view of her financial position. So, in other words, she should be able to make a decision based on the fact she's getting more money, which goes against C. So C is wrong because it goes against what's being said. So here the answer is A. For question number 2, how does Diane feel about the prospect of a break from work? And we can see this in the second part. She says, well, I guess I could empty my in-tray in time. My workload's not too heavy now. It's just that I haven't had much time to get the office organised. And to be honest, one of my colleagues would probably be only too glad to use my absence to further his own position. So what she's doing here is she's identifying one of her colleagues, a male colleague, who she thinks wants to advance his position, in other words, get promoted, perhaps at the cost of her. And so that, if we apply that sentence to the answers, we see that that applies to the fact that she's worried that staff, or one member of staff in this case, will take advantage of her absence. In other words, use that time that she's away to advance their own careers. And that's exactly what this sentence is saying. She's not doubtful whether she can clear her backlog of work in time. She says her workload's not too heavy now. So she's saying she hasn't got too much work, so that isn't really an issue. And there's nothing in here that says that her boss might be nervous about promoting her. So that doesn't really apply either. And that helps you get to the reason, get to the answer of B, worried that her staff will take advantage of her absence. Okay, for extract number 2, we're talking about a new film and the fact that it hasn't been given the 12 certificate. So why has the film been refused a certificate allowing it to be shown to children? She says, first of all, the first comment is about not being surprised. There's plenty of aggression in the first few minutes. Then the man says, doesn't seem to worry the authorities. So this isn't the issue, nor is the strong language. But then the man goes on to say, they couldn't take the little bursts of rather tense music. It makes your hair stand on end. So in other words, the music is the reason why the film didn't get the 12 certificate. Now, music in the film, or the music which is played in the film, is often called the soundtrack of the film. So you've got a clear vocabulary link between this and the answer, which is A. The soundtrack makes it too frightening in places, and frightening relates to making your hair stand on end and being rather tense. So that's why the answer is A. For question number 4, the friends agree that the original story on which the film is based is written in a rather unusual style, gives a convincing portrayal of a historical character, manages to keep the reader in suspense until the end. Well, certainly the book was a page-turner. Nothing is mentioned about the film wanting to grab your attention until the end, so it's not C. Is it a convincing portrayal of a historical character? Not really, because the woman says, you can't really believe the prince is based on a real person from the past, though, can you? So it's not that it's a convincing portrayal of a historical character, but it does say here, I love the way the author uses dialect all the way through, a bit out of the ordinary. In other words, out of the ordinary meaning slightly strange or unusual. And that if the author uses dialect, it means that the author is writing in the way that the dialect sounds. If you want to see a perfect example of that, go read the English version of the book Forrest Gump, which is written in a dialect. So you'll see exactly what that means, or what that looks like. For extract number 3, we're talking about a building and architecture. And for question number 5, it says, what does Ingrid think is the best feature of the new building? Now, she talks about transparency. Transparency means looking through things or being able to see through something, not necessarily about letting light into the building. So this is a bit of a trap. The way each floor has its own facilities, well, no, because it says that all of the facilities are not located on each floor, but in a central place in the middle. So it's not C, but the space she has created for staff interaction, and we can see that here in the underlined part, or rather, let me expand that a bit. The 3 floors all open onto a cavernous central hall, and this is what's crucial for me. Crucial for me relates to the best feature. There are so many reasons for people to meet there. In other words, so many reasons for the staff to interact. So clear vocabulary links there. And for question number 6, what does she suggest companies with outdated office buildings what does she suggest companies with outdated office buildings should do? Something slightly strange about that question. What does she suggest companies with outdated office buildings should do? No, okay, it's fine. Employ her to design a more modern building. Ask staff what kind of workplace they would like. Use imagination to improve aspects of the offices. She jokes. She says, commission me to come up with a scheme for a replacement, for example. And then she says, no, seriously. So clearly what she said is a joke, so it's not A. Certainly she talks about using a questionnaire to get their personnel's reactions to any changes you've made. So this is a questionnaire after changes have been made. So it's not asking staff what kind of workplace they would like, because the changes have been made and then the staff have been asked. Use imagination to improve aspects of the offices. And there she says, it's underlined, it doesn't require much, a little creativity. That's all. In other words, creativity links to imagination, and it doesn't require much to improve the offices, and that relates to improve aspects of the offices. There we go. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I hope you managed to get 6 out of 6. As you are watching the video, if you have any questions about what I was saying or want me to explain in a different way or simply flat out disagree with what I say, then please leave a comment below and I will get back to you. If you're preparing for your CAE exam, doing these listening exercises, and you're working from a course book as well, then check out my website, CramTheExam.info, where I might be able to help you out a little bit more. Okay, thank you very much for watching the video. I'll see you again soon.